Hello, everybody, and welcome to the May 16th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. So, yesterday we kinda covered some of the stuff going on in Georgia and how one of the people running has ran ads of him literally using a chainsaw to cut regulations. Well, what if I told you he may not be the most crazy candidate running? Everybody, meet State Senator Michael Williams. You see, Mr. Williams, or should I say State Senator Williams, has a deportation bus. He doesn't just have a pickup truck like yesterday's guy. He has an entire bus dedicated to deporting the illegals. It doubles as his campaign bus, so I guess he's going to deport himself. Or maybe he's going to strategize with the illegals. Who knows? Kind of makes you think. The back of the bus, by the way, makes it clear he's using it to get murderers, rapists, kidnappers, he spelled molesters wrong. But, okay. They're molestors. Not molesters, molestors. And other criminals on the board. Now, some may be wondering, well, he's just some random state senator in Georgia. How is he going to deport the illegals? He doesn't have the authority to do that. Well, it's actually very simple. You see, what he's going to do is he's going to go up to someone who looks like an illegal immigrant, typically judged by how white they are, but we can't say that part out loud. Oh, did I just say that part out loud? And simply ask, are you an illegal? Which, of course, under law, they have to answer that truthfully, so they will. They're illegal immigrants. Of course they obey the laws. And if they say yes, you'll deport them. But you know what? Some may resist. And this is an advanced illegal immigrant. So then what he's going to do is he's going to start saying a sentence in Spanish. Okay? And if they respond in any way that is also in Spanish, well, you just fell into Michael Williams' genius trap. On the bus for you! Anyway, our next story comes to us from Wisconsin, where a Senate candidate asked, what was the point of having a revolution if Brits get single-payer health care and we get a president guilty of treason? Okay, a little bit of hyperbole in that last part, but oh God. Oh God. It's the sound of the Daily Wire taking offense to something. That's my favorite sound of all time. Yes, the Daily Wire, in this case one of their writers, Frank Camp, picked up on this story. And, well, since it was a tweet, he decided to show some of the best replies. Their first epic wreckage comes to us from Kyle Becker. You don't get single payer. It gets you. In Soviet Russia, healthcare gets you. Wait, was that intentional? You don't get free education. You get the education the government wants to give you for free. You don't get a military as big as the next 14 nations combined, many of which are out. Never mind. And if you have proof of the president being guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, please bring the suit with the U.S. government post haste. Which, of course, is what you do anytime you make a comment on Twitter. For instance, or even more so, for instance, when Ben Shapiro, the guy who owns the Daily Wire, wrote a book which is much more serious than a tweet, literally called The People versus Barack Obama, I'm sure he brought that to the highest court. You keep making me do this. I'm going to run out of water sooner or later. I hope you realize that. Tyler Ness had this to say. What crimes? Where's your proof of treason? Okay, again, I'll give you. That was kind of hyperbolic. The point of the revolution was to free ourselves from an imperial power, which is a good thing the U.S. never became or anything, and allow citizens of the U.S. the ability to govern themselves. Feel free to move to Britain. Oh, love it or leave it. That's like the free space of Patriot Bingo. Oh, sorry, Patriot Trademark Bingo. Sir _ Mycroft, who has this to say. When liberty needs to be explained, it is generally already a lost cause. I can take it he was definitely skimming through Thomas Sowell's new book, Liberty is Good, which is just the words, liberty is good, about 100, just for about 100 pages. At least that's my guess of what it is. I don't know. Will Jackson says, ask Alfie Evans. Yes, and ask the single-payer system in Italy what they tried to do. John McClawley says, if you believe the revolution was about more government control, taxation, and income redistribution, you really know nothing about freedom, liberty, or the pursuit of happiness. Just little nitpick, but it's not like they created a system completely removed of government control. In fact, that government they kind of set up had the power to control things kind of says otherwise. Also, it's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not freedom, liberty, or the pursuit of happiness, because freedom and liberty mean the exact same thing. And the personal favorite of the Daily Wire, candidate for Senate, running on a platform of we should have let the British win the American Revolution. Gotta say, that's a bold strategy. We should improve society somewhat, and yet you take part in society. Curious. I'm so smart. Now, to be fair to the Daily Wire, that time they were covering comments to something. It's not like they do this all the time. Like this article, also from today. Fertility hits historic low, declining among minority women, much to Planned Parenthood's delight. What? Oh, okay, here's some more. Much to Planned Parenthood's delight, the decline in fertility has been sharpest among minorities with deficits across varying ethnic groups, with American Indians and Alaska Natives having lost a total of 83,000 births between 2008 and 2016, a 15% drop to only 1.23 births per woman. Okay. Black Americans are in second place, dropping 9.6 in expected birth. Wait. Can you go back to the Planned Parenthood point? No, seriously, I'm curious how you're going to explain that one. Let's look at some more. And those are just the numbers missing in terms of birth decline. The stats are even more horrifying. People not wanting to have kids isn't horrifying, especially considering many young people maybe just don't feel they're financially ready. I wonder why. Maybe it's because there's been an ongoing recession for decades, or for at least a decade. The Great Recession never really ended, despite what the media will tell you. Oh no, we aren't having enough dumpster babies. I'm scared. Okay, fine. I'll read the rest of that. The stats are even more. By the way, those policies that cause the recessions are the ones the Daily Wire supports. This just figured that should be noted. The stats are even more horrifying if one takes into account the millions of unborn babies killed in the past 10 years. We kill things before they're even alive, apparently. Those were babies that could have been born and were prevented from doing so. Okay, Can you go back to that Planned Parenthood point? I'm actually really curious about that one. Okay, here's the final paragraph of the article. Meanwhile, feminists continue to fret about how America will become a handmaid's tale under President Trump and that Planned Parenthood is the last and only defense against this from happening. What? I'm Ephrom, and good night.